in our four-part Pathway to Success doTERRA business training. We are Aisha Harley and Lita Batho, wellness advocates with doTERRA. We're excited to be here with you today in support of your success with doTERRA.
In our first three classes, we talked about mindset, about doTERRA as a company and their opportunity, how to find your network, offer them the chance to learn about supporting their health naturally, teaching them how to do it, and enrolling them with their own wholesale account so they can use the products and get the best pricing. If you missed any of the last three classes, the webinars are available on our training website, Essential Wellness Pathway to Success. Today, we are talking about building the business through duplication. It is when other people start doing what you're doing that you go from carrying buckets to having a pipeline of residual income.
Sometimes when we are building our doTERRA business, we think we are creating a pipeline, but we are still hauling buckets, meaning we are basically starting all over again each month. This is what we're going to address at this class. If you find yourself stuck at a certain level or your business is not growing even though new people join each month, this may be what's going on. The secret is to support and educate existing customers so that they continue to find ways to use the products and love the products, as well as some of them might begin to share with and educate their own community. Success with doTERRA is based on retaining customers over time, which is why our friend, Blue Diamond Aaron Ingraham, has said, people are not truly enrolled unless they're maintaining a loyalty rewards order, meaning while it's exciting for us to enroll someone, if they aren't educated on the value of loyalty rewards, and if they aren't continuing to purchase, it really doesn't help our business that much.
One of our favorite business coaches, Tiffany Peterson, has a great short video about the fastest way to increase your income right now is to nourish your network. Take a look at your existing customers and see who you can support today. Just check in, see how they are doing, see how you can support them, appreciate them. Working this into your schedule will help keep your business thriving because they will know and feel that you care about them and that you are there to help.
Definitely. I think that's so important, and we sometimes take it for granted, but it helps so much. I know I really appreciate it when people send me a card or just do something nice, and it makes me feel connected to that person. Anyway, we covered the membership overview in class 3, which is one good way to begin to educate your team. This is an essential part of the enrollment process because it is only through knowing how to use their account and all the benefits that they're getting through loyalty rewards, using the supplements, having the option of using oils to balance their mood, and all that doTERRA has to offer, that people will always have things to try and be loyal to their favorite products.
So let's talk about developing leaders. If you want to live the dream, duplicate. Duplication really works. The doTERRA business is based on recreating yourself so that your business grows. This is awesome because everything you are doing to train and support your new leaders, they will then do for their new enrollees. This is also an area where you need to practice self-awareness because guess what? Your team won't do what you say, they will do what you do. It's almost like being a parent because you will notice your team members picking up habits from watching how you do things. This can be great if it's an effective habit, and it can be not so great if it's not an effective habit. So be careful in your behavior, posture, and clear in your actions.
Here are a couple tips. Be positive. Do not complain, argue, or otherwise terrorize your downline. If you have any challenges with yourself, your business, or doTERRA, please go to your upline and address it with them. Always take problems to your upline and be positive and supportive with your downline. Negativity that trickles down to your downline will poison your business. Be professional, be supportive, be positive.
Get into the trenches. Work side by side with your team. Again, keep in mind, others do what you do, not what you say. Inspire them, work with them, walk the path with them, and remember, most importantly, is they succeed, you'll succeed. So here's the power of duplication as we have experienced firsthand. You'll see at the top, the first photo shows Erin and I at our first doTERRA convention in 2011.
Where was the rest of your team?
They weren't with us.
You mean they were at home?
I didn't hardly have a team yet.
So it was just the two of you?
Yes, it was. Erin had maybe 2 other people there. No, that's not correct. I had one person there.
Oh, okay.
Me.
Well, anyway, it was a pretty
Yes.
small representation
Yes,
there at
it was
the
a
convention.
small representation. So when the convention was over, we were both feeling really inspired and totally ready to get going on our businesses. I was an elite, and Erin at this point was already a silver, but she was still fairly new to the business. Erin asked me, how many people will you bring next year? And I'll never forget kind of sheepishly sitting there, and I said, I'll bring 6. And I really thought I was thinking big.
Oh yeah, like, oh my gosh. Oh, it's kind of embarrassing to say that I'm hoping
Yes.
to bring 6 people.
Exactly, and I thought, who am I going to get to come to Salt Lake City with me to a network marketing convention? So if you look at that second photo, that's the following year. So in 2012, we had around 50 wellness advocates join us at convention, and that completely blew me away.
I was there.
Lita was there, exactly, and we had so much fun. Now the third photo, we are missing 1 year in between here. We only had room for 3 photos on the slide, but you'll get the point. So the third photo was last year, 2014, and this is just a section of our team at convention. We couldn't even get all the people in one place at one time, nor could we even keep track of actually how many people there were there, because there were several hundred. This is the power of duplication, of sharing, of being consistent and not giving up. From following these steps that we are teaching you, we have grown an international team of wellness advocates. So this image shows some of us on our way to the convention in 2012. I see some of the people who have become my top leaders in my business right here as we are all near the beginning. As I look back, it's clear to me that those who took the leap and came to the convention back then were quite literally on board. They were on board that airplane with me. They were on board with the business, and they still are.
This kind of reminds me of the phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Well, we may know that this business is really fun, it's really worthwhile, it's a great business opportunity. Not everyone is going to pick up on that. And no matter how much you tell someone, they have to decide for themselves. It is those people who do get it that will be your strongest business partners. Your ideal builder is someone who would figure the business out and do it, even if you didn't exist. If you feel like you're having to convince, cajole, or drag people along, that is not ideal. It might not even work at all. Chances are, if that's happening, you'll end up feeling burned out and discouraged. That's why we say to mentor the committed.
I'm going to read the slide and write this down. Move towards those who move towards you and mentor the committed. And most importantly, though, invite everybody, because you never know who's going to move towards you. So it's very typical for people to start to use the products with absolutely no intention to be active in the business. The wholesale account simply offers a great discount, and others benefit that we are naturally attracted to. As time goes on, many start to feel that the people in their lives could use some doTERRA oils. How many people have felt that way? And they begin to be curious about sharing. A percentage of your team will even take doTERRA on as a part-time or full-time job to create financial support we've been talking about.
The point here is that it's best to nurture all customers, all the people on your team, to learn to use and appreciate what doTERRA has to offer and to allow them to find their own way, giving them guidance as they need it and working with those to the extent that they move towards you. Only about 1 in 10 wellness advocates becomes involved at all in the business. So your team will be mostly customers, which is great. It's important for the health of your business, and it's great for them to be getting doTERRA products at a discount. As people begin to show interest and move towards you, you can offer mentoring and support to help them grow.
This is perfect to first educate and support everyone to use the products and love them. This lays a great foundation. And I was like most people. I got my oils, I loved my oils, but I never, ever, ever thought I would do this as a business. I even almost canceled my loyalty reward order on several occasions. Can you believe that? But then at some point, and this was shortly after I went to the first convention, that I got the bug and I decided to jump into the business. So it's natural for people to go through phases like in the picture of Marsha Brady on the slide. First being curious, then loving the oils, then they cannot wait to share them.
While Aisha's story is far more common, sometimes people see the business opportunity right away. In class 3, we mentioned how Aisha set me up with my first small enrollment kit several years ago. It was actually the Cleanse and Restore kit, which you probably know is one of the smallest kits you can get. When it arrived, I was one of those rare people who opened up the folder and read all about the business opportunity. And I decided then and there, before I'd even started using the products, to do the business. In fact, my first thought was, wow, I'm going to need some more oils. And I returned my Cleanse and Restore kit for a much larger kit and got rolling. Within just a couple months, I had reached my first goal with Elite.
So the point being, you may never know, and it's sometimes hard to tell. So be open to the possibility of anyone wanting to jump into the business.
Here's a question we as leaders get asked all the time. When someone new enrolls, how do I know whether or not they're going to be a business builder? The reality is you can never know for sure. Some of the people we feel would be great at it and even might say they want to do it, never really decide to do it. While sometimes someone you thought would never in a million years be interested leaps right in with both feet. But there are ways to make some educated guesses about your team as you enroll them, which will help you with placements. First of all, ask. There's nothing wrong with making them aware of the business opportunity. In fact, it's the right thing to do. They often first hear about the business opportunity in a class when you can simply spend a minute or two during your class talking about what you do, and the fact is you are modeling what you do during the whole class. Then, when they enroll and you have a membership overview with them, go ahead and ask the direct question. Are you interested in creating income with doTERRA? If you have a pen and pencil, write that question down. Are you interested in creating an income with doTERRA?
There's a theory called the 3 pathways that helps people identify themselves as a user, share, or a builder. A user is basically a wholesale customer who may tell people about the oils, just like you tell people how much you like any product. A share is someone who does a small amount of business and may make enough to pay for their own oil order. A builder is someone who takes this on as a full-time or part-time job and will need your mentoring and support to learn the business. Each of these 3 types of people need a different amount and type of attention, so it's helpful to provide them with the tools to identify for themselves where they are at with doTERRA business opportunity.
As you're working with your team, it's common to feel like you're not really sure who is on board, and you may end up putting a lot of energy into someone and then feel like they're not really showing up. For instance, you might enroll someone and they express interest in doing this as a business, and then they don't actually do anything. You might invite them to events and they don't come. You may try to teach them about the business and they space out. This is a person who's not really showing up.
When someone is actually working with you, you'll know it because they move towards you. They will show up to classes, They will host a class. They will educate themselves about the product. They will show interest and engagement. They are generally very excited.
Yeah, so I had to learn that sometimes people say they are doing the business, but they're actually not doing the business. Why? Sometimes because they're afraid or they're uncomfortable. But the fact is, we are all at times afraid and uncomfortable. Guess what? We have all had to work through our challenges. The key to this business is to feel fear, be a little bit uncomfortable, sometimes to be really uncomfortable, but to do the thing anyway. The amateur feels fear and gives up, while the professional knows the fear will never go away, learns to live with it, and does their work.
So as you're building your team, we already talked about how your team will do what you do. So choose what you do carefully. The simpler you make things, the easier it will be to duplicate. For instance, it's possible to teach a class by simply reading off the Edge Success tear sheet. Anyone can do that, and anyone watching you will say to themselves, well, she's just reading off the tear sheet. That's easy. So simple duplicable systems are the perfect place to start, and for many, the perfect thing to stay with.
You can teach the exact same class every time. What's wrong with that? You'll get really good at teaching that one class, and the audience is always different. So it's not like they will get bored. They have not heard the class before. Those who have heard the class before, chances are, will be your team builders. And if they're attending your class, they will learn it much more easily if they hear you saying the same things over and over again.
This is how I quickly grew my business. I taught the same one tear sheet class for a year. I had it memorized inside and out, and my business began to flourish from just doing this one simple act of duplication. So we encourage you to plug in, attend monthly trainings, join team calls, make convention an absolute priority and encourage your team members to join you, and invite others to plug into the same system. When I began, I just committed to 1 hour a week to begin my education, and I attended one team call per week. That's how it started, and then my business grew from there.
Something I've experienced and that my team members have reflected to me is that when they get involved with doTERRA, they feel so welcomed, and the community events and trainings really add value to their lives. It's amazing to work in a business where it's in our interest to support the success of everyone. Rather than being competitive, it's supportive. Rather than being negative, it's positive. I'd like to think this would be the norm, but I know that a lot of people don't find positivity and joy in the workplace. To me, this is like a great benefit of the doTERRA business. In addition, it's amazing how much training and support is available for us at each stage of our growth. So encourage others to take advantage of it and set the example by setting aside your own time for business training. I find that a great thing to do is to get with your team members and make an evening of a class. Like say, well, why don't we both go to this class? Or why don't a group of us have dinner and then go to the class? So that you're not making it into this thing where you're saying, maybe you should go to this class, but you're all doing it together.
One thing I love about doTERRA is that I work with all my best friends, and we travel together and we teach classes together, and it's absolutely amazing. So let's talk a little bit more about relationships. Remember, people won't remember what you say, they remember how you make them feel. I'm even going to say that again. People won't remember what you say, they'll remember how you make them feel. Our business is a business of relationship. Relationships with our team, our customers, our mentors, and our community. So get really good at nourishing and connecting in your relationships. The fringe benefit is that connection and relationship is what all humans crave. This business is the training ground for a happy life and a thriving business.
Be of service, radiate love, Live the lifestyle of doTERRA. Nurture your relationships.
And have fun while doing it. We encourage you to become a leader of leaders. A leader can only go so far by themselves. A leader of leaders has mastered the art of duplication. They make space for others to excel. They keep it simple. This is the art of pure duplication. This creates financial freedom.
Some people have the skills to do it all, but haven't taken the time to duplicate themselves. And the truth is, your organization can only grow so much when you're doing everything yourself. You're still hauling buckets. As we've stated, it is extremely important that you follow a system, and one of the main reasons for this is because that's what makes you duplicatable. Pick a system and stick with it. Keep it simple so that your team can easily learn what you're doing and duplicate. This is what leads to financial freedom.
So in summary, remember to check in with your progress. Ask yourself, am I carrying buckets or am I building a pipeline? Have conversations with your new enrollees and let people move towards you. Mentor those who move towards you and keep in mind that they are going to duplicate what you do. Keep it simple so it's easy for them to do what you do. Pick a system and share your system with your team. Schedule time to nurture relationships with friends, business partners, customers, and your upline leaders. Master the art of duplication to live the life of your dreams.
Our call to action this week is to continue to plan your classes and have your classes. Schedule membership overviews and follow-ups with your new enrollees, and take the time to appreciate and nourish 10 relationships. This can be a card, a thoughtful email, a phone call, a date to have tea, take a hike. It can be any way that you choose to appreciate and nourish your network, because as we know, our network is our net worth.
And I also want to really stress here that this is the foundation of building yourself to diamond, is just keep doing these same activities over and over and over, and you will build your dreams and a successful life. So we're going to lead you with this nice quote. Being passionate about something is the key to success. However, using that passion to help others is the key to happiness. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you soon.